couple of others being pushed in recent tournaments. Rich, your first thoughts now?
I suppose it's to go off the back of what Martin said. We do have some big teams that are going to be in play today, but we have all these other rosters, and even Toby started touching on it, where you could have these potential hot drops, contestants. When we have a group stage that is 36 maps long, I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. It is long, and it's a bit
No
longer
one
than
can
what we used
complain,
to. I
right?
mean, no, nobody can complain. If you have a bad day, there is opportunities to actually fix those issues and go ahead and say, okay, well, what did we mess up? How can we reverse this? How can we correct
Yeah.
this? So there are opportunities during this group stage to be able to actually have the odd bad game here and there. Still, when you have other teams and you're in that scenario, we've seen it before, you have a 16-team game. There are teams that have to be eliminated. You don't want to be down there once we're all said and done.
Oh, wow.
But more than usual, I would say there's not as much pressure, but there's still plenty of money that's at the end of this line. You want to be there for the grand finals.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Northeast Circle hitting in to start with. We have TSM in there, Unity, El Gigant.
Seeing other formats where if you drop on somebody, it's self-destructing. They make it out. We get 2 or 3 alive at the scrappy end, but because there's so many opportunities to pull it back, there are chances for you to maybe stamp your ground and say, okay, well, this is my turf. Get the hell out. We'll drop on you and we'll fight for it.
Oh, hold on. You said Unity and they're doing well. That's Orange finding a bit of a trade there. Unable to convert onto the 2. It was a 1v2 that Orange got himself in, but Ghostar had a really nice off angle. Apparently there's a couple of lags, so hopefully that can be fixed up. We'll try and be as descriptive as possible, just in case you can only hear us and you can't see it too much. But this is the current scenario. El Giganton on the move, trying to probably get everyone back together, and it looks like maybe they're in trouble, but no, they dealt with the threat well. They've got all their players back on their feet, and they're doing all right. Haiku getting very close towards Unity, so again, some of these slightly, I don't want to say lesser teams, that's not right, but not quite your tier 1 looking squads, battling it out early. Unity will arguably be the more favored side as we know them a little bit more, but they did just lose out on Orange. So with him being down, they're down to 3. They have to Pyro at the end of TSM's run when they did very well. And we discussed DA, and it was brought up on the desk. The bells are about to toll, but I'll be quick about this. Welcome to broadcasting at home, boys and girls. Basically, they're more aggressive. They've changed up that play style. The roster looks a little different, and he's excited to see what they can bring, obviously, because they were the ones that kind of hindered Liquid in that crazy comeback, right? So there's a lot to be seen. These guys, some beautiful shots coming out. Very nice from Adept there. That's Noki, another player that we certainly got to know throughout those opening couple of days. And El Giganton struggling here. I thought they were out of trouble before, but it seems they found themselves right back into it.
Taking early fights like this sometimes just awakens the beast to all these teams that'll be around you. It is not an odd circle, but certainly a more northern one. We don't get too many circles that finish up past Cruz de Bal, so you will get these kind of engagements when we run towards the hillside. It's a good going against Tornado Energy. Another one that we kind of said may pop off a little bit earlier on, as they did have information earlier. I will now know that Markelov's hiding around the corner. Markelov at least takes a dinks and get out of there. Is he going to hold this? He is laying down, so it puts you in a bit of a predicament. If you move left or right, your gun's going to get pushed away, and I can just punch him in the head and say, well, whatever gear you've got on there, we'll take that alongside the point. So an instant reverse off, but holding, doing this and beating down on the floor. Creeping and crawling, gives the time for Adaji to move up, but unfortunately instantly is put back down. His last 2 players will probably disconnect. Fact, when you look at that scoreboard, placement points, yes, they're always nice. You always get that good, big jump up at 10 points when you win a game. But the heavy-hitting teams that are always at the top of a table, they have frag points.
Let's see if he can get this completed here. He's going to go for the push. It looks like Entropic on the other side, this is a tough battle, although they're in a good position to maybe punish Iroh. If he's out on his own, he could get caught, and he has. Double's already found him, and now they're going to push forward. These guys are aggressive. They're a wild card in a way, right? They're that team that can go off. They seem hyper risky. They're willing to take these risks. Iroh was out on his own. He fell back to cover, and while the rest of the team were about to do that counter push, Vard and Fex are ready. Miraku's been tagged up as well. These guys are out for blood. Entropic want this area, and they're going to fight for it, Rich, and that nade's done really well. Miraku's gone down. Fex and Vard shocked with the amount of aggression coming their way, and maybe, just maybe, Vard can hold on to this, but with 15 bullets left in the mag and pretty much the whole squad to take down, this is going to get harder. Nice work from Vard, though. One more to find, or maybe Entropic get the reses and they get themselves back on their feet. Oh my god, Vard, if this nade works, he's going to get them all. If this nade lands perfectly, this is going to be huge. It's good. It's damn good. Somehow Hawk has survived. I don't know how, Rich. I don't know how he's on his feet. But TSM have just lost 3. Huge aggression coming out.
Comes down to a 1 versus 1. See if he can complete it. Take a look at the map, see where it actually goes to. Novik again bleeds out. Circle should be shifting down, which it does. And we kind of said beyond that Cruz de Val area, we don't tend to see too many up by Campo Militar. It takes a very hard shift in hand. I'd give it in. Liquid versus DA now. Liquid could actually get a bit of revenge here, potentially, for being halted by DA last week at the finals of DreamHack. VAR did get double, so that is another knock, and it's still a 1 versus 1 on that fight. It will continue through up and towards the tower. Burn it. If he actually lands this and it burns them from the side, if that's got over, that'll be... Has it done it? Oh, he's going for a second one. So he knows where they are. There's nowhere really else you can go, and you're only safe by the wall.
Yeah, and look at the kill feed, nail up there. Another highlight from just a couple of days ago. The man is very much a powerhouse player. Maybe a little newer to certain people's eyes, but he's certainly lighting up the kill feed on a consistent basis. So keep your eyes on Raise Your Edge. Nailup's definitely a name to watch out for coming up in this tournament. Vard's still locked into this, can't really back away. It's kind of one of those scenarios where this is your first round, and there is going to be a bit of this kind of back and forth, teams getting settled in. The circle's been a little bit uncomfortable for some, but yeah, a bit of an unfortunate beginning for TSM specifically. I don't think anyone expected that kind of aggression from Entropic to come out, that kind of Czech / I guess Slovakian squad making that super aggressive play, full commitment to it. Very impressive.
Which is another one when I look at the guns that we're kind of holding and where they're working from. You can see Vard, he can't at the moment to have adopted from the fight, so it will change up and move to it. Red line, finding Elegant, or certainly what's left of them. Gaxi, another one to fall victim. Marv holding a different angle as well, so they're just being battered from 2 different angles here, and it's left to Ghost Star to hold the line, get away from this. Smoke grenades are in hand. He's in the vehicle, and he's getting the hell out of there because with the last man standing, same scenario, unfortunately for Vard as well. Neither of these teams wants to be going down at 16th in the very first game to open things up. Set falling victim. And now Vard might be doing the same as Double is wrapping around. And I kind of spoke about things that you do notice on the opposing side. When you see Hawkeye holding a sniper rifle, literally holding with the angle. Does he know Double's here? Oh, shoulder peek, corner peeked.
Wow.
Held it well. Extended out from the building. He had no idea he was there. TSM from hero to zero. From winning, coming straight off the back of winning an event, to falling 16th place in game 1.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, I don't think anyone can really... I don't want to say blame him. It's just he's always welcome. We'll relay it the best we can. So if you want to see things switched up, we'll do our best for you. Obviously, we're making things work as we can. T-Bone also making it work there. Going to find a player. I'm not sure if the revives are potential. I think Marv's peeling.
9 Adepts and Red Zone have still all got to get in there. Not all of those teams can fit. I think we'll probably lose 2 to 3 during these next 5 minutes.
Yeah, it looks like Adepts have opted to swing further south. They're going towards Red Zone, so away from Red Line over towards Red Zone. They're both kind of looking towards the same compound. So Hack and Dark over there, trying to make sure they're aware of the position. Vazku does sweep away the remaining 2 who cost T.
Red Line, Omicron does have vision on them, but Red Line are more their bigger problem right now. The saving grace for them is that Unity, they've only got 1 player in the front compound, so should they push it, he's not going to be able to take all 4 players down. They could send the vehicles, they could get in there, they could make it work. They'd have to be aware of the grenades, but Unity have got more players towards the back lines of that area. So there is 1 player in the front. They definitely have an angle, don't get me wrong, but their minor saving grace is that the front of it will be weakened, so there is an entry point there.
And this circle is going to definitely pressure that. Haiku are going to sit pretty. They're happy. They'll have to shuffle a little bit, but they could be pretty good there. And they're a team that, you know, aren't one of the big dogs that we're used to talking about. So eyes towards them. We are seeing Raise Your Edge moving up towards Unity. Big moves towards that side. They have lost out on Shiv. That's towards, I think that's Red Line. Ivers catching Shiv in the back. Omicron keeping Red Line busy. So good moves from Raise Your Edge. If they can get their players back on their feet, it's a good attempt. It's not ideal. Look at this ground. Definitely not ideal. But they've beaten other teams to the punch. Now Red Line putting set down is going to make Unity a little weaker than before. And maybe consider some other teams to crash that compound. Maybe it's a must-have. It's not yet. Tempest in the south, gonna have to work it out. Adepts in the south, Red Zone in the south. You've got Tornado Energy, DA on the move. Mert just got called off. They were sitting kind of southwest on this, and they now need to shift forward. The problem is Na'Vi, Liquid, Red Zone, they are all in their way. They're going to make a mad dash for it, and maybe it'll work out, but they're going into the unknown here, Rich.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff happening across screen. It's just going to be hard to bring you all the action. Red Line are pushing into Omicron. They're getting an eye line and Raise Your Edge. Down in the south, we have DA who moved out their compound. Then we get Red Zone. Tempest might get a third party onto that here. All these points that are in the background work your way uphill and get involved in the fight. Keep an eye on that kill feed, though, because we do have 2 fights on 2 different sides of this one. Makandak instantly gets confirmed. He's down. Not quite out. Yep, in fact, he is. I tell a lie. Red name comes up, which means the death has been confirmed. Tempest, I think I saw one of their players go down. Danamon from the windows. That's actually Unity with a double nade onto Raise Your Edge. That's the unfortunate victim of being inside the ball area on the side of the road. Sixma's also fallen, and so was Monkey. And for Raise Your Edge, this got a hell of a lot more difficult because they've only got 1 player left.
Yeah, this has gone from kind of bad to worse for Raise Your Edge. They're now being naded from above. They've got all the attention their way. That could be the end of it. And it looks like it is. Actually, no, Udyr still is alive. How is he still alive? Now, Tornado Energy, in the meantime, went towards the west. They ran in towards, I think it was Na'Vi. So Na'Vi have claimed that title, holding on the circle. DA had been eliminated. They went towards the southeast. Tempest are the only team walking out of that southern clash. Adepts just went. That was a huge amount of teams gone. I'm pretty sure Raise Your Edge might have just been wiped as well. Red Zone eliminated. We've just blinked, and it's going to be so much brutality. If you weren't in that last circle, you're probably already dead. Let's see if Tempest can survive. They seem like the only team who might make it in. Credit to Redline, they've actually made it a little further forward. Omicron on their heels, sure, Unity piling in, Tempest as well, but they were one of the other teams who've somehow slotted in this scenario. It's not easy to do either, considering we did lose, you know, almost 8 teams in that instant. Now, Circle moves again. We're going to see Liquid on the move, Haiku on the move, Tempest, Na'Vi. The North, pretty good for Omicron. This could be a really...
There is an option for Redline to hit it hard. I mean, they'll hold for now where they are on the edge of the circle. There's no real need to do anything. Mexi with the... that was an absolute banger. Let's be known as well that Bestelotch, I think he won versus 3'd Tornado Energy when they on the approach, and he got 2 with 1 nade and then finish off the final person. So he battered them and stopped any advancement, but they're another team that's in a really weakened position now by the circle. Are they going to take separate vehicles? Tab's still healing up here, so they'll have to... They'll take definitely some tick damage on this and from the blue, but it's really where they go. I'm guessing field, but with how many other teams are looking towards them, and then Hick with the AWM as well. I have seen that in play. K-Mine falling onto Kemba. Bestelotch makes it in. I don't think Senyu's going to get much further, but really quickly, it should be known. Team Liquid, all 4 of them are looking towards Na'Vi. They've no idea that Tempest is directly behind them, and here they go.
Yeah, Tempest need to make this quick and short. They don't have a long discussion about this matter. It gives time for the turn, but now Tomil finds K-Mine, and we're down to just 2 standing for Liquid. Jeems and Ibby aren't looking so good either. They're looking pretty battered and broken. I think that's going to be Liquid gone. Nice timing from Tempest. Very well controlled. They did lose 2 in the process. I think that's to Na'Vi and other teams trying to chime in with 1 or 2.
Looking on the map, you could just see all of Liquid just tunnel vision onto Na'Vi. They crept up the hill at the right time. How much further they actually go? It's beyond me, but they got themselves some frags and they got a position as well. T-Bone thought he was safe and secure. Bopping, weaving, ducking, diving, and now he's dead. Instant confirmation. There is a return fire, though, again, from a different angle this time, and that's because they're not keeping track of where these teams are. They're a little bit too far spread from here, Omicron, and they're being punished for it.
Nice stuff. Shifting slightly towards the middle, but slightly further towards the western side. Page finding one of Haiku is going to mean they're now just down to 1 player, and they're at the foot of the hills. So he could see them, potentially Na'Vi, and maybe Tempest. Tempest still have 4 alive. They got it, and now they're on the move. They're the ones who have the hardest change here, just because they've got to run in and look at this area. It's just the low ground, right? There's very little to play with. Wookie Bookie might be the sacrifice in this one. He's going to take the car and make a mad dash for it, try and get the attention and provide some cover for the others. He did make it pretty far, but not far enough. I don't know if that car's actually in. He has been knocked in the process, and now Pixel's gone down. It's all piling in. Everyone tunnel visioning towards Tempest, and I think they know they're done for. A good attempt. They tried it. It doesn't work out. We're down to 5 teams.
Yeah, I stand correct on the Omicrons, and I'm interested to see how this unfolds when Unity have their safety net removed. They've had this really solid compound. It's been favourable. It's been really good for them for now. As to, if you had that final hit across, that would have been sick. Goes for the smoke shoot. Page also following up. Na'Vi has such empty cups for Bestelotch and gets taken out by the vehicle eventually. Fires up, and now that's the time for Unity to move.
I mean, is it? Look at that. Look at the area they're in. They're still kind of okay over there. they can just gatekeep Omicron, who now have to make the run inside. I don't know if they've got anyone on the foot of the hill, but they want to clear out the players on the outskirts. I think one's still alive for Redline, holding on for dear life. You do have Haiku's remaining player just towards the kind of darker side of the hill, so that could be a huge problem for Omicron if they don't check that. But how are they meant to when they have to fight Unity at the same time? This is now the issue we're going to have to look at is, how do Omicron get out of this? Yes, they can take down Ibis, but they're just, these quick revives back and forth. You can see another one still standing out there, but it's a matter of time. They're trying to hold on, hope for the best, and I think they're going to give up the points. 4 kills, 9 in general, in total. Very nice, going to give it up to the blue. Done. Now, big story, Rich. How does Omicron get in this circle, or can they get into this circle?
They're rotating. They've got a vehicle, I believe. They're actually going to cross the road. Okay, so that gives them the west. But the safety net that's provided by those 2 crates is phenomenal. They can't see him from this position. And Paige, well, he was the one to try and get the job. He was the one that were trying to find the kink in the armor. Taking him down like that at distance, that should kind of solidify the game, because Omicron are up against the blue now the entire time.
All right, it's a 3v2. Jemty and Vazku, big names here. Off angle is very important here. He has to keep those 2 players safe from the back lines, but you can see that's where Jemty's trying to relieve the pressure, and that's the shot. Vazku opens it up, Set goes down, and now it's getting back on, but Jemty, he can't make it count when it matters, and now Vazku left to find 2. He gets the tag on 1, but now he's down to almost no bullets. I think he's only got 20 in that 1 mag, and that's it. And then he's over to the mini, and well, what can you do with that? 17 bullets, 2 kills to find. It'd be a miracle for Vazku, but he's trying his best. Anything he has would be valuable here. He's considering, is it time for the blue? Can I do any damage? Oh my word, 5 bullets is all he's got to play with, and he's done it with 1 bullet to spare.